Hello, I am Aubrey Bass, and I played the judge, the wolf, and Paul Bunyan.
Hi, I'm Taylor Tillman, and today I played not only the grandmom, but the defendant.
I'm Leticia Zuniga, and I'm Little Red Riding Hood. I'm Brielle Wood, and I played the policeman and the prosecutor. Hey, Granny. So I'm just headed to your place for a little bit, and I'm gonna be there soon.
Oh yes, I forgot you were coming today. Did you bring the goodies?
Yes, Granny. I've got the goods.
So off goes Little Red on her venture through the woods to Granny's house. Little does she know, evil is lurking nearby.
Wait, what was that?
Oh, it's Paul Bunyan, the expert tree cutter.
Hello, 911. I'm reporting suspicious activity. It looks like someone's stalking a little girl in a red hood.
Little Red continues her journey, brushing off her alertness as paranoia, and walks briskly to Granny's house. Though, it wouldn't be until she arrived when she would realize that someone had gotten there first. Help me! Help! Get off me! Help! You won't get away with this, wolf! A little while later,
Granny! Granny, I'm home! Hey, Granny, are you in here?
Yes, darling, come in. Did you bring me my goodies?
Yeah, they're right here. Hey, you look different. Stop in the name of the law. Put your hands up, wolf.
I plead the fifth.
Help! I'm gonna need backup here. I was led to a civilian's house with our suspect as the wolf. We had Paul Bunyan call me, leading us to a stalker case where the wolf was stalking Little Red, and he tried to attempt murder on her. I'm gonna need backup right now.
3 weeks later, the wolf attained his Sixth Amendment rights, which are the rights to a speedy trial.
The court is now in session. Defendant may now plead his case.
I am the defendant's attorney, and I will be speaking for him today. My client has been convicted of criminal assault, stealing, stalking, breaking and entering, and creating a hostage situation. He is here to plead innocence to all of the above, as he is a mere victim of the situation himself. I would like to call the expert witness to the stand, Mr. Paul Bunyan.
Permission granted.
So, Mr. Bunyan. Paul? Can I call you Paul?
Sure, Paul's fine.
Great. So, Paul, what exactly are you an expert at?
I am expert at cutting trees in forest.
Oh, okay. Cutting down trees in a forest. So recount to me exactly what you saw the night of the alleged stalking.
Well, I was cutting trees in forest and I lost my axe, so I went to look behind bush where I had taken a nap after lunch, and I saw a wolf peering through bush at little girl in dark clothing.
So, you called the police and reported suspicious activity. Specifically, a stalker.
Well, yes.
So acknowledging that you are under oath and must state truthfully everything you're saying here is what I have collected from that recount. Seeing a wolf behind a bush is class evidence. It could have been any wolf in our society, and only direct individual evidence such as fingerprints on an alleged criminal's knife and a victim's body can tie a person to the crime. Seeing a wolf, my friend, is class evidence. Could have been anyone from the wolf class. Also, I do not see the science in cutting trees, Judge. And according to the Fry versus United States, an expert witness must have a testimony based on scientific methods.
Objection, Your Honor. He is subject under the ruling of Kumo versus Carmichael ruling, stating expert witnesses do not have to be scientists.
Denied. Continue.
Even without being a scientist, Paul here could not use his expert tree cutting skills to prove that my client was stalking Little Red. Cutting trees has nothing to do with stalking. As for the kidnapping, breaking and entering, assault, and alleged hostage situation, I would like to dismiss Paul Bunyan from the stand and call Little Red to the stand, as Rule 702 has already been rejected enough in this case. Is it true that you were seen touching and messing with evidence on the scene of the crime before paramedics were able to get there?
Well, I mean, I was curious as to why this wolf was chasing me around, so, I was investigating on my own.
Hence, Mr. Judge, evidence, though it was all direct, was not handled correctly before crime investigators got to the scene, and the evidence was more likely contaminated before the collection process. As you, Judge, are the gatekeeper of evidence determined by the court case Daubert versus Merrill Dow Pharmaceutical, I ask you not to allow this evidence through as admissible. Not only was the evidence contaminated by Little Red, but the chain of custody procedures, which are to make sure everything is logged and carefully transported, was broken, as seen on evidence box 2, where there was a loss of time between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock at night. Anyone could have tampered with the evidence during that 2-hour time frame and framed this innocent Mr. Wolf as guilty. That is all I have.
Prosecution, you may now rise and press your case.
Prima facie says that Mr. Wolf is not guilty until you say he is, but 2 eyewitnesses described the suspicious acts of this man against my client, and she didn't stab herself. If you, Judge, do not consider the evidence in this court, I will bring the case to the higher courts, as the established precedent of the Supreme Court would certainly take the evidence contaminated, or not, as a child was hurt, and not to mention an elderly woman was tied up and bound in her own home. The Fourth Amendment says that she had the right to privacy, and that was broken the moment the wolf broke into her home and held her and her granddaughter hostage. The police officers didn't take a warrant because of the high stakes they felt when the first officer heard screams. Probable cause, Judge. If that's not enough, I don't know what is.
Stay tuned for next week's episode when we find out whether or not Mr. Wolf is found guilty or innocent.
Oh wait, I already started.
What am I doing?
Granny! Hi, I'm gonna need backup here. I was led to a civilian's house from a phone call by Paul Bunyan. We have our suspect, the wolf, who tried to murder little... Wait, is she dead?
No.
Okay, I'm very sorry.
I forgot what I was supposed to say. Sorry.